Hi, and thank you for coming along, having a look at this collection of games. Only 3 games, but one's about Endgame. Now, Endgame's, I heard a long time ago, easy principle for you to remember, easy peasy, is in the Endgame, go pawn grabbing. Okay, pawn grabbing and put your king up into the center as far as you can go, sort of within reason. You don't want to go right over to the other side of the board, but get your king central. Use your piece. It's your king. Your king is a piece in the end game, but go pawn grabbing. Okay, so it's like madness, crazy. It's compared to the opening. It's the complete opposite of the opening. Is go pawn grabbing. But anyway, so here's these collections of games first. Now, this again this photo was taken, I believe, 2007 at, is it 2006? Heather might say. But anyway, this photo was taken in Perth's harbour on my nephew's bit of a cruiser boat, sort of a big yacht. Not a yacht, it's a speedboat or whatever. That sort of thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'd like to have it, sort of, to go fishing or something like that. And pictured with me is Heather Wegener, and she was enjoying it. We went right from Melbourne to Perth across the Nullarbor Plain in a nephew's car from mine in Australia. So we went right across the Nullarbor Plain and some, and then that sort of thing. Okay, so this is the boat, but we're here for chess, aren't we? So here we have it. So here we have it. Right, let's go. Let's go. So this is I think this is the one about the end game, I think. So end game, I say pawn grabbing. Not, it's not going completely right for me here. Here, after bishop c5 check and bishop e3 else, the queen is lost or something horrible for white. I think I played bishop e3, rook e3, and I was just thinking post after this game, I think I can play a move here that I played knight c5 here. I played f4 and then knight c5, but I think I've got a move here that I can play here for black. It might be stopped by a certain move anyway, but I'm thinking of playing this move, in which case I'm now threatening queen c5 here and queen e3 check. Okay, so that wee little thing here and here, and queen e3 check. And also, if queen e2, say that white takes the I'll just show you new variation. So queen here. Now let's say white just takes this. Okay, engines on. Alert. So let's just say, I better not go too far, but let's say white takes this knight, then queen here, and I'm going to be able to play 4 soon and pick up the rook. So I'm going to win the exchange. Maybe for a pawn for black, maybe black has to give up a pawn as well, but I'm not sure. So anyway, that's just a bit of gobbledygook. So here's f4, and now knight c5. So we have normality. Here's b4 anyway, which could have been played by my opponent after queen e7, if they were aware. This pawn on d4 is tantamount to the whole position here, even though white gets squares all over my king side. So what would you play here now? There, obviously white is attacking my pawn here, so maybe I should play knight here, but then maybe white will play h4 and the threat will soon thereafter be renewed. Hello, Tiger. tiger the whistle. And so I played here a developing move with my queen. So I throw my queen out to h4, which is not characteristic for the French defense. So here's knight d2, and now I think I didn't play the best move in the world. I think I played g6 here, did I? Yep. My opponent played knight e6, e4 straight away, and so I just thought, okay, I'm going to lose an exchange, or I'm going to go an exchange, but I'm going to get a knight and a pawn for my exchange. So here is rook e2, I believe, and rook f8. Oh no, cancel. What did I play? c5? Yeah, c5. b5, rook f8, and then rook ae1. Okay. So here I think I played rook f7. No, I didn't. I played b6. Okay, b6. As white is threatening to implement this bishop into d5, which will be a wee bit annoying for black, because the knight will be pinned and there is 3 on it to defend it, and the queen can join it in as well for white on queen c2 to e4, pinning the knight almost indefinitely, and probably going to win this game. So I played king h8. I'm not saying that white isn't probably winning. They probably are. So here we got queens off, so this would probably favour white. However, there is the difficulty of now I'm thinking of the actor Malkovich. I'm glad I remembered it. So here's bishop d3. So this is the difficulty I'm talking about. Rook e7. I can just take the pawn, and a4 and d3. Now have a look at this, how this goes. Now I've got 2 pawns for the exchange from white. So now white takes rook f7, of course, else d2 is going to be no real problem. No, it's no real problem because of rook f7 and rook d1. So rook f7, king f7. So I'm controlling these 3 squares for entry to the 7th rank for this rook, which is primo for it. Same. So rook d1, and I think it's a wee bit sad for white, really, because I've got just these entry squares, like I said. So I'm basically using my king as a piece, and now I'm threatening to just come in here with reasonable chances for black. King d2, and I was almost about going to do a pre-move here, but instead before rook a1 I was going to go bishop a4 almost, but I didn't. So here's this, and here is stationing this pawn and bishop on c2, the pawn defended by the bishop on c2, and giving it marching orders soon. Probably best here now would be taking on b6 as white does, and maybe trying to blockade this c4 c3 move, but white doesn't. So here's c3 and bishop b3, which is of course threatening this and checkmate with a rook or queen. So white plays rook d7, king e3. Another pawn is possibly going to go now, because the d2 threat is on as well. So rook e7 check, king f3, and here's this in d2. And that's the end of that one. So the next one is my opponent let their clock run out at the very end. So I am white, and I want to get rid of that. I don't really need that there. So the Scandi, I call this the Scandi Stranglehold. So here we got the Leonhardt Gambit variation of the Scandinavian, or the centre counter gambit. I'm quite comfortable with this line because white gives up a pawn, but I feel white gets quite a bit of territory for this pawn, and a lot of open lines to their opponent's opponent's position, blah blah blah. So here we've got queen d7. Now I'm not sure I like this move for black, because now black has to one day reorganize their queen to get off this position for their bishops and knights and that sort of thing, even though I help black a little bit. So castling, and here we've got bishop d6 and rook e1 as the other day that I placed a Scandi of. And here, like I said earlier, I play f3 and bishop d3 instead of bishop b3 like yesterday's game. I played bishop d3 and a6, so I now play bishop d6 and knight e4, and here my opponent goes back to d8 at last, and I just play knight 2 to Gregory 3, and knight d7 c3. Here I wasn't too worried in this 2-minute 1-second encounter of this. Really, it doesn't really worry me. I'll just move my king over, and then I've got a whole open d file as well for rooks and things like that. So here's knight d7 c3. Maybe I was worried about it. Knight c5 and knight d5 is knight bd5 is of course threatening my c3 pawn. So I do not want to lose my c3 pawn. 2 or 3 still pawns are at bay, but rest of them have been opened up and used and utilized and lost. So here's knight d7 and knight e4, bomb bomb, knight d6, and here white, I'm not sure why black played this move, but they did. So rook e5 came about, and it's not long till the end of this game, even though my opponent at 58 seconds left on their clock left it to run the whole way through. Here I played what did I play here now? Rook be1, and now my opponent went knight d7, so I just went obvious check and all those sorts of things. Quite exciting looking for white just to play what? So I played rook h5, then knight f6 happened. Then what did I play next for did knight f6 happen, or was it g6? I think it was g6. So after after knight d7 I went rook h5, g6. What would you play then for white? And this isn't far away from black letting their clock run out. Maybe they didn't like me. I played rook h5. Okay, now comes g6. So what can you play here for white? Which is a wee bit annoying for black, really. As I played queen h6. Now this threatens queen takes pawn checkmate, of course, but pawn takes rook is no good. I will just show you that's no good. I was going to show you the other battery too, and you're not meant to be on engine. So here's rook h5. So black defends rook h5, threat of queen h7 checkmate with knight f6. And so all I do is merely move out of the way of the knight capture of my rook on h5 with rook h4, and here we have it. My opponent resigned by letting the clock run for 58 seconds. Very rude, but that happens in life. That's what life's all about. Okay, the next and final game for you today is a little bit different, but played as well today, and this is a big wig, big wiggener. This is a big wig on Lichess, 2232 rating on there for this player. So here we go, and I was black. So this is called the Horvitz defense. So I'm actually playing openings that have got a name for them. Amazing. So I'm going to be reasonably quick with this one, and I just want to say I've just yeah, it's all right. My friend knows I love soup, okay? And when I was younger, my mum said you should have a soup kitchen. But I love soups. And I love onion soup, tomato soup, chicken soup, vegetable soup, any sort of soup, pea and ham soup. Love that soup, you know. Any sort of soup I love. Anything I can get my hands on for soup I love, especially in lockdown. And I was just talking to my friend, and I even love his soup. But I learnt at catering school a long time ago, about 50 years ago. I learnt that in soup, with catering, when you're making a soup, it has to be recognisable. You know, it has to be. It can either be a thick soup, I think, or consomme. I think it can be a consomme soup, and that's the thing. And it's in French, soup is called potage. So I said, soups always have to be, according to catering, you know, catering school, they have to be recognisable. You have to know what they are, because he puts everything in his soup, but his soup is to die for. Anyway, all soups are to die for. I love soups. And then we've got a Rottweiler next door. At the back fence I've got a male Rottweiler that's been there for a long time, this dog. And yesterday I was out the back doing a spot of gardening, and this Rottweiler started to bark its head off at me. And I was sitting there egging it on, and the owner was saying, "What, you know, so be quiet, dog, be quiet," or whatever. And I was saying, "Oh, you know," I was saying, "Oh no, I want contact. I want contact. You know, I don't mind if the dog comes over the fence." Not real, of course. Now this is the move I played. You see. Now look at this. This is a very high opponent, and I play queen here. Realizing that there's a wee weakness with the places where white has their pieces, even though this player is 22-32. So I came back to queen e1, and just like a little bit knobbly this game, just a little bit sort of annoying. So just go queen b4 again, b3, and now play queen e7 with the idea of I want to play e5 because that makes my bishop good for the endgame, which is this is an endgame, of course. Queen and rook and knight versus queen and bishop and rook and pawn. So I play e5 as promised. And now just do a simple wee little tactic that my opponent falls for. I play rook to e8. And so I play rook here, and my opponent played rook c3. What's the wee tactic that's easy to find for black that wins something or does something drastic to white's camp. Can you see it? So after rook e8, rook c3, we exercise for you. Can you find the move that I played next that almost made my opponent resign? Okay, and here it comes. Rook e8, which threatens, of course, just a loss of another pawn. Now white played rook c3, but really probably knight c2 will be a wee bit better, and it's probably what the computer would play. But there was tiger before. But rook c3, what happens after rook c3 is, of course, queen d4. See, the computer's on again. So I've played with the computer on, and here was this move, and rook e1 takes the queen, check, and my opponent this time resigned. Okay, that is the end of the session. I hope you enjoy your game of chess. I hope my chess games help you look at what you shouldn't do and that sort of thing. But I will say that I do like 2 minute and 1 second. I've got to remember I haven't got much time to think about it, but it's just that wee bit better than 1 minute chess. Whereas bullet 1 minute chess, you've got no time to think, and so you can't really play chess. I mean you can, but I can't really play chess in 1 minute chess. I get a really good position, but then I lose on time again. Okay, so I hope your game of chess gets better and better as time goes on, and I do mean that. And thank you for watching today, and please call back. Okay, thank you.